Princess Claire and the Watercolor Pony.
That's on there.
Yes, it is. Isn't he beautiful? Doesn't he look like somebody took a paintbrush with watercolor and just kind of painted it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the idea I had in my head that started the story. So, Princess Claire lives in a kingdom, and her father is the king, and her mother is the queen. But she doesn't have any brothers or sisters like you guys.
She's the only sister.
Yes, she's the only one. And she has some friends, but when you live in a castle, it's not as if people want to stop by and see if you're home, you know. So, chapter 1. Princess Claire loved her pony named Diamond. He was sparkly white, gentle, and always came when Claire called him. She loved to watch him gallop over the hills in the pasture. He would throw his head back as if he was king of the hill. When I was a little girl, I wanted to be a horse. I could scamper over the hills. One day, when Claire was riding, she saw a pony grazing in the distance. She blinked her eyes several times because she was not sure if what she saw was real. What would you do if you saw something you didn't know was real? You go. He was the most magnificent horse she had ever seen. He was not one color. He was not two colors. He was all the colors of the rainbow. He must be enchanted, she said to herself. See, in these stories we have things can be enchanted. Claire returned to the stable in a flash. She helped brush down Diamond before he went back to his stall. All the time she was thinking about the beautiful watercolored pony. Then she went in search of her mother. She found her mother, the queen, in the sewing room. Do you know who owns the pastures south of our land? No, dear. Ask the cook. Why do you ask? I saw a beautiful pony and I wondered who owned him. Claire went to the kitchen and asked, do you know who owns the pastures south of our land? Oh, no, Missy, but maybe the maid does. Claire found the maid upstairs and asked, do you know who owns the pastures south of our land? Yes, my papa works for them. There's a couple and their daughter. They bought the house and pasture and hired my papa to tend to the animals. Claire thought, if they have a daughter, then that's who owns the pony. And maybe she's my age. I need to meet her so Father can ask if the pony is for sale. Oh, so she had an ulterior motive. She had another reason for finding out about this girl. Mm-hmm. Princess Claire ran to her mother. I have an idea, she said. There's a new family in the kingdom, and they have a daughter. I would like to bake them some cookies and welcome them. Oh, that's very nice of you. When do you want to do that? Today, Claire asked eagerly, and she followed her mother down to the kitchen. The cook was just finishing the breakfast dishes. The queen asked, can you help Claire bake some cookies? Yes, ma'am, I can. Thank you. Claire Abigail knows the best cooking recipe to make. Follow her directions. Claire, the cook, baked cookies all day, and the castle was filled with the smells of cinnamon, vanilla, and orange. Do you like cinnamon and vanilla and orange? You don't like those? Do you like the smell of cookies? Oh, yeah.
I like cinnamon. I like cinnamon.
There's a lot of times there's cinnamon in cookies, isn't there? Oh, and it smells so good. When the cookies were out of the oven, Claire counted 150 of them. That's a lot of cookies.
That's a
Lot of cookies. Claire found pretty plates to pile the cookies on. Claire took cookies to her father's office, to her mother's sewing room, and of course to the stables where she was so glad the groomsmen took such good care of Diamond. She had 2 plates of cookies left to take to the new family. Mother, could someone drive the buggy for me to deliver the cookies? Jiggles can drive you, but it is too late today. You have to go tomorrow. That night, Claire dreamed of the beautiful watercolored pony. She saw the colors shine and shimmer when the pony moved. In her dream, she rode him until her long brown hair took on the colors of the pony as the wind blew. Her hair grew longer and longer and swirled around her and the pony. That would be an interesting dream. When she woke up, she looked in the mirror and saw that her hair was still brown. She pulled it back into a ponytail, put on one of her favorite dresses, and hurried downstairs. When Cook made her eat breakfast before leaving, Claire gobbled it as fast as she could. The buggy was waiting for her. Jiggles helped her up and handed her the plates of cookies. That's a funny name, isn't it? Would you like to be called Jiggles? No. During the drive, all Claire could think about was the beautiful pony. She tingled all over. At the cottage, Jiggle knocked on the door. A man opened it just a crack. "What is it you want?" he asked in a croaky voice. Jiggle said, "Princess Claire wishes to welcome you to the kingdom with some cookies." Holding the plates, Claire stepped forward. "We brought these from the castle," she told him, and showed the man the delicious pastries. "Oh, then please, come in." The man bowed to the princess. He called his wife, "Effie, we have visitors from the castle. Get Irene." Effie came quickly from the back of the house, wiping her hands on her apron and curtsied. Do you know how to curtsy? Do you know how to curtsy? All right. I won't ask you because boys don't curtsy. "Please come and sit down." Claire smiled. "We heard you're new here and we wanted to welcome you. I baked some cookies for you. I hope you like them." The woman took the plates and set them down on a table. "Thank you very much. That is so kind of you. Oh, Irene, come and meet Princess Claire from the castle." Claire saw a girl come into the sitting room. Irene was about her age and had long black hair braided down her back. Claire smiled and began to say hello, but she stopped when she saw that Irene was missing half of one arm. Oh no. Claire started to say something, but she stammered and stuttered, and her words fell out upside down. Finally, she just blurted out, "What happened to your arm?" Irene smiled shyly and curtsied. "I was in an accident last year. My father's wagon fell down a gully. A wheel crushed my arm. I am very sorry. I didn't mean to be rude, Claire explained. I was just surprised. I've never seen anyone my age with an arm missing. I heard you just moved here. The two girls talked and they giggled, and finally Claire asked about the watercolor pony in the pasture. Is he enchanted? Yes, he is. I named him Magic. My parents bought him from an old peddler who told them that the pony would bring happiness. That was just before the accident. He means so much to me. I don't ever want to be without him, Irene said. Whenever I feel sad, I ride Magic and he makes me feel better. Maybe the peddler knew I would need him. All the way home, Claire thought about Irene. She felt guilty for bringing the cookies only as an excuse to ask about the pony. Irene was nice. They could be friends. Claire couldn't go to sleep that night. She kept thinking about the rainbow-colored pony and Irene. In the morning, Claire asked Jiggles to take a note to Irene to invite her to go riding. When Irene and Magic arrived, all the groomsmen whispered and pointed at the unusual pony. Claire led Diamond up to meet Magic. The ponies touched noses and nickered. Claire asked Irene, "May I touch him?" "Oh, yes, he likes to be petted." Have you ever petted a horse? Have you petted a horse? They're soft. Their noses are really, really soft. Claire gently ran her hand along Magic's neck. She saw colors float in waves, and she laughed. Magic's hair was silky smooth. Oh, he is beautiful. Irene smiled. What is your pony's name? This is Diamond. I named him that because he sparkles. Claire climbed up on Diamond's back, and the two girls headed towards the Black Forest. They walked the ponies, trotted them, and then galloped. Claire slowed down in the shadow of the giant trees. This is as far as I'm allowed to go. Father says there are bears that wander through the woods. And at that moment, the girls heard a loud growl. The ponies startled and whinnied. Diamond spun around and Claire fell to the ground. Diamond, frightened by the fall, ran back towards the castle. Claire, are you okay? Irene cried out. I hurt my ankle. I don't think I can walk. Someone will see Diamond and come and get me. She sounded hopeful, but inside, she wasn't sure. Another growl sounded. Roar. Magic pawed the ground, ready to run away too, but Irene held him. I don't think we should wait for someone to come from the castle. Irene looked over her shoulder at the dark forest. Then she guided Magic to where Claire was lying. She told him, down, and he slowly went down on all four knees. Did you know horses have knees?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Can you pull yourself up on Magic's back? I'll try. Claire pulled with her arms and pushed with her good leg. With some coaching from Irene, she was able to get on the pony's back. Okay, I'm on. Put your arms around my waist, Irene patted Magic's neck. Go slow. The girls heard another growl, but Magic didn't run. He walked slowly back to the castle. When they were close to the stables, two groomsmen with Diamond following behind, met them. One called out, "Is the princess all right?" Claire peeked around Irene's shoulder. "I'm mostly okay, but I hurt my ankle." Irene didn't think we should wait for you to come because we heard a bear. The groomsmen followed Magic back to the stables. On the way, Claire thought about Irene, and as much as Claire wanted Magic, she realized he meant more to Irene than being just beautiful. The groomsmen helped Irene to the ground and carried Claire into the castle kitchen. Irene stayed by her side while Cook sent someone to find the queen. Claire tried to be brave, but her eyes watered. She took Irene's hand. "Thank you so much for staying with me. I've never seen a bear come out of the forest. But it could if it wanted to. Magic was wonderful and strong. I'm glad I was there to help. It is funny that it was Magic and me helping, because I'm usually the one who needs the help." Irene smiled. Then Claire laughed. "And I'm usually the one that does the helping." Irene said it has been a long time since I had friends. People my age usually don't want anything to do with me because of my arm. You are so kind, and I hope we can be friends. All the confusion fell away from Claire's mind. She knew that Irene and her friendship was more important than Magic. Even though Claire's heart desired the beautiful pony, it was not hers to have. And Claire knew that she found something even better that day. A lasting friend. The end. You're welcome. You're welcome.